Let's switch it up a bit. Instead of being such Debbie Downers over the past few days, or at least the past couple of videos that I've released regarding safe and effective treatment, let's talk about gestating and creating the next generation, shall we? Now, I'm pretty critical when it comes to intersexual dynamics in today's day and age. It's kind of weird being the final generation that remembers the world before the internet, but then was also raised and spent his entire working life in a world that has had ready and available access to high-speed internet. It's kind of weird. Straddle both lines, okay? Because I grew up being taught how old school 20th century relationships began, okay? And there's arguments out there that, well, for the better part of about 35 of those years, those old ordered ideas weren't really all that popular. But even still, they worked for generations. A good man could find a good woman, and it wouldn't be that difficult. But given the advent of this little tool right here, things changed quite a bit. Globalized sexual marketplace overtook your local sexual marketplace, and any average girl out there had on demand thousands and thousands of opportunities. So your local six was immediately put on a global scale, and if she did a couple of different things, it took a couple of different selective shots, she had the opportunity to be in the DMs of a blue check mark on any different platform that she wanted. She had the opportunity to get flued out. And then also running the numbers that throughout the course of history, about 90% of women have successfully procreated and only 40% of men have successfully procreated throughout all times. If men wanted to include themselves in that 40% or women wanted to include themselves in that 90%, they needed to step up their game. And especially if it wanted to be of somebody that you actually wanted to procreate with, not in order to just get a child and then eventually, just cast him off to the side, because we can also run the numbers on that stuff. Who instigates most of the breakups? Women. 80% of divorces are facilitated by females as well. So let's just stop it, okay? Let's just say all of those stars align, because that's not exactly the focus of this topic right here. We're talking about infertility, because, oh boy, that's another problem out there, okay? Because for men, yeah, your sperm quality, mostly due to your diet, a lack of exercise, and we'll get into that, okay? That's one of the many, many, many benefits of being a man. You can bust nuts until the day you die, okay? But for women, tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. You can continue to be lied to by all the institutions out there. Don't worry, girl, you can have it all. You can have your career, you can freeze your eggs, and nothing bad's gonna happen. Until you realize that freezing your eggs is only good about 20% of the time, and then by the time you're 30, most of your eggs are already gone, and anything over the age of 35 is considered a high-risk pregnancy. But don't worry, guys, you can continue to listen to all of those cat pee stinking liberals that run all of the institutions. You can continue to listen to them. You can bite down hard and invest in all of the feminism that's worked out so well for the likes of the writer of Sex and the City, who has penned multiple different publications about how miserable she is with all of her life choices, and foisting her ideas upon the world was definitely a net negative for everybody that's out there. But instead of being a doomer, let's focus about what you can do if you find that special someone that you want to procreate with. Yuck, that sucks even just saying, coming out of my mouth. Not that I'm against having a child or anything like that. It's just, pedestalizing anybody like that is just disgusting. If you think you're too old, too stressed out, or too busy to become pregnant, for women, might be likely if you're 30-something. Okay, there are common sense strategies and simple everyday health habits that can make your dreams of parenting come true. Yeah, be 20-something if you're a female, and just be a healthy individual to be a man, to be selected in order to create the next generation. It's pretty simple. In the United States, 15% of couples are unable to conceive a biological child on their own. What are the factors, as reported by UCLA Health in 2020? Couples are considered to have infertility problems when they have regular and frequent unprotected sex for 12 consecutive months without conception. Holy, are you putting it in the right hole? In the United States, about 10% of women, 6.1 million, aged 15 to 44, have... 44? Holy. Yo, that kid's going to come out if it ever does, and it's going to be an expert at solving Rubik's Cubes. Getting pregnant in 2019, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services on Women's Health report found. Office publishes an ovulation calendar on its website, womenshealth.gov. There's a lot of information to be gleaned from that as a man, but that's another topic for another time. To help women target their most fertile days of the month when they would be most likely to conceive. Infertility says that American Pregnancy Association is an equal opportunity health condition experienced by both men and women at nearly the same rate. But let's be completely honest, who does infertility most likely affect? Which of the two sexes is most likely to run into these problems? Let's be honest here. Often it's assumed that fertility difficulties are with women, says the APA on its website. Wow, a government agency just trying to say that actually it's a guy's problem. Come on now. But 40 to 50% of infertility in couples is due to male factors. It's assumed that fertile difficulties are with women, and then less than half, up to at best half of the time, it's the man. Okay, male infertility alone accounts for approximately up to 50% of all cases of infertility. To say that women have it worse, okay? But you won't, because government institution and you know who signs your checks at the end of the day. Male fertility testing and sperm count and sperm health. Yeah. What can you do to make sure that you're not shooting blanks? Pretty easy there, partner. When a couple has not been able to conceive after consistently making a year-long effort, take off the condom. Dun-dun-dun. First, according to the APA, sperm is collected and inspected microscopically to assess their number, shape, appearance, and speed of their movement. Yeah, if you're firing duds and they're just kind of bonking together. Listen, even Homer Simpson got it right. And I understand that's a cartoon, but if we can get a Simpsons reference in, it's a good day. Normal semen contains 40 million to 300 million sperm per milliliter. It seems like it's a pretty big bar right there. 40 to about 300 million. Yeah, somewhere in between. A low sperm count is considered to be anything between 10 and 20 million sperm per milliliter. But you have error bars of 260 million. I'm not taking you seriously. 20 million sperm per milliliter may be adequate for pregnancy if the sperm are healthy. Okay, so now you're telling me you only need 200 million swimmers? Like, come on now. A sperm count is found to be low. Urinalysis can be performed to detect any signs of infection, or if them normally round-headed little dudes are, just kind of malformed. There we go, or misshapen. Try to make a new word right there. If no abnormality is found, it is on to testing the female. Why does that come second? Okay, if old gray hair rolls up there, it's like, we better make sure and test the guy first. When you realize that you're trying to procreate with somebody who's got half an empty egg carton, like, let's just stop it. Some lifestyle habits have been shown to lower the sperm count in males include being fat, not exercising, substance abuse, including excessive alcohol. Yeah, because who wouldn't want to create a little bundle of joy with somebody who's, a chronic drinker? Come on now. Not taking enough vitamin D, A, C, coenzyme Q10 are also important to sperm health. Exposure to toxic environmental chemicals, not a toxic environment like some bitch in your ear all the time saying, I can't get pregnant, you have bad swimmers. Wearing constrictive undergarments, including, instead of loose boxers or cotton briefs, who wears underwear? In an April 2016 study comparing the effectiveness of dietary vitamin C exercise intervention on fertility parameters of normal obese men. It's interesting, right? Like, this is just all kind of cope, given the fact that you run it back to even the late 90s, okay? When were people getting married? The average age of first marriage for men, I think this was maybe early 2000s, okay? Even before the internet really took off. For a man, it was about 29 years old, and for a woman, it was about 27, round up or round down accordingly, whatever the decimal point is. And then now, as of, I think, 2020, I think that data is accurate for, the average age of a first marriage for a woman is 29.7, and for a man is about 30.1. So theoretically, especially if you're trying to jump through all those hoops to figure out who's infertile in this situation, think that you're trying to bring a 30-year-old female into a situation where she wants to get pregnant, and the first course of action is figuring out if it's the dude who is infertile. Not like I'm taking offense to any of this, okay? Just squirting up and filling out a little cup for it to be analyzed. Probably easier than reaching up in there and figuring out what the heck the problem is, or then just, going in there and hearing an echo is a little bit more intrusive than, sending somebody in the closet for a second with the bottle of Jergens. Like, let's just understand that all of this information wasn't required 20, 30 years ago because young people were out there creating the next generation, okay? 'Cause I don't see anything about age being a factor here, but that's playing a lot into how the next crop of kids is coming up. Well, outside of, just situation where liquid libations were being passed around. He was cute, I was drunk, one thing led to another, all that jazz. Now, they used to do it in the good old days. Anyways, in another study published in a Journal of Human Reproduction in 2014, researchers found engaging in reasonable exercise and having a generally healthy lifestyle can contribute to higher sperm count. Yeah, imagine that. Or is that just coincidental because of the 40% of men throughout all of history that have successfully procreated, they're normally attractive people that people actually want to replicate their genes of? I'm just wondering, man. A less conclusive study published in Reproductive Biology and Endocrinology in 2015 found somewhat lower rates of pregnancy in couples where the man had lower levels of vitamin D. Yeah, well, guess what? You need to give your partner some vitamin D, so I guess she would be adequately fulfilled. But it was not significant. That said, couples with better vitamin D levels fared better, the research found. So, pregnancy rates per patient and per cycle and delivery rates per patient and per cycle were all significantly higher when couples with normal vitamin D levels. Okay, they wrote. So how can a woman promote her own fertility? How about just be young? Be young, be healthy. How about that? Okay. Once again, healthy lifestyle choices can increase your chances of becoming pregnant. The Mayo Clinic offers these suggestions. Are they gonna state the obvious? I don't know for sure, but I see a long old list of things, and age better be right there because this is the Mayo Clinic, man. This isn't, the Miracle Whip Clinic or anything like that. This is the authoritative source on these types of things. So if you're not going to keep it 100, well, your boy's going to. Problems with ovulation. Yeah, obviously, if your cycle is screwed, well, you're not getting pregnant. Damage to the fallopian tubes or uterus. Problems with the cervix. Yeah. If that axe wound is a mess, well, guess what? Nothing's happening. Age. Hey, there it is. All it took you was the, 0.4. As fertility naturally tends to decrease over time. You're born with a certain amount of eggs, and then after a while, it just stops it starts shooting out dust. So let's be honest. Unhealthy weight, being overweight or significantly underweight, but you see what's waddling out on the streets today. Like, let's be honest, some of these broads don't even know that they're pregnant. It just kind of begs the question, who's actually doing the deed on those, Jabba the Hutt cosplayers? Can inhibit normal ovulation, sexually transmitted infections such as chlamydia and gonorrhea. Regularly working a night shift and not sleeping enough can affect hormone production. Too much stress and a lack of effective coping strategies. It's called being a woman. Smoking tobacco, which ages ovaries and depletes the eggs. Drinking alcohol. Great. Why would you want to knock up one of these broads? Anyways, geez. Caffeine consumption over 200 milligrams per day. 3 or more cups of coffee. Heavy and vigorous physical activity over 5 hours a week may inhibit ovulation and reduce progesterone. Exposure to environmental pollutants and toxins. But let's be honest, what are the most common problems? Being unhealthy, i.e. not exercising, and being fat, and 2, being ancient. But I was told that I could have it all. No, you can't. Stop it. For couples who are trying to get pregnant, every lifestyle choice can impact your success in conceiving, and lubricants during sexual activity are no exception. If you're trying to procreate with somebody who actually doesn't get you in the mood to do the deed, you need to come to a hard reality on that. Okay, fertility lubricants are specifically tested to ensure the lubricant has similar pH and viscosity as semen. And a fertile quality cervical fluid. Yeah, that's nice, wonderful, fantastic. Okay, yeah, if you need an additional helping hand, man, you're probably experiencing a couple of different problems as well. I'm just saying. But I have a friend. Listen, it's just generalities I'm talking right here. They don't want to get to the truth on that one. Well, guess what? If you're having a tough problem conceiving over a 12-month span, make sure you're healthy and make sure you're young to begin with. Media might tell you one thing, but biology is going to reaffirm the other. So, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.